whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Welcome, honorable members. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Proceed.
Order number 4, petitions.
Proceed.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Honorable members, we are in receipt of notice of motion, and we welcome Honorable James Serem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm here to give a notice of motion, aware that the government of Kenya has attached a fertilizer subsidy program to be implemented jointly under a multi-sectorial framework bringing together ministries of Interior and National Administration, Agriculture and Livestock Department, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Cooperatives and Enterprise Development, National Development and Trade and Industry. Notice that farmers across the county have been registered through assistant chiefs and chiefs, appreciating that initial disbursement have been done in various parts of the country, concerned that there are few distribution points in the county managed by Kenya National Trade Corporation, KNTC, and National Cereals and Produce Board, NCBP, hence long queues and extra transport costs. Acknowledgement that there are many active cooperative societies spread across the county, and this county assembly urges the county government of Uasin Gishu to distribute the fertilizers through registered cooperatives that have stores in order to reduce costs and congestion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Clerk.
Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motion and bills.
Order number 9.
Order number 9, supplementary orders of the day. Motion.
Honorable James Serem.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for this opportunity once again. I'm here to move this motion, and as aware that the county, the government of Kenya has attached a fertilizer subsidy program to implement jointly under a multi-sectorial framework bringing together ministries of Interior and National Administration, Agriculture and Livestock Development, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Cooperatives and Enterprise Development and Trade and Industry, noting that farmers across the county have been registered through assistant chiefs and chiefs, appreciating that initial disbursement have been done in various parts of the country concerned that there are few distribution points in the county managed by the Kenya National Trading Corporation and National Cereals and Produce Board, hence long queues and extra transport costs. Acknowledging that there are many active cooperative societies spread across the county, and this county assembly urges the county government of Uasin Gishu to distribute the fertilizer through registered cooperatives and that have stores in order to reduce costs and congestion. Madam Speaker, it is high time that at the move of this motion, having notified and with great concern, and first and foremost to thank our county government for the subsidy of fertilizers. And therefore, with me here is under this move of this motion, having gone through the registry of subsidy of fertilizers through our assistant chiefs and also the chiefs. The process has worked very well with appreciation of all our farmers in our county, and therefore after that we've been having a lot of queues on the national cereals board, and therefore it has also come to our minds that a lot of queues being our farmers queuing in those cereals boards, and therefore I could request that although having much appreciation on the subsidy of fertilizers, it has caused a lot of costs, bearing in mind that you can find that someone or farmers will queue even for maybe 5 days. So it has ended being costly so much. You can imagine from, so to speak, a word like where I come from, Garona Meipeki, that is very far away from the national cereals board around here. At the end of it, you will realize that our farmers are actually going a lot of challenges. Of course, at the end of it, you can find that we have some farmers, all of us, we are not equal. There are some farmers who have registered to have maybe 100 bags of fertilizers. We have those who have also registered to have 2 or 5. And therefore, you will realize that they will incur a lot of costs, whereby if you just calculate 1 bag of fertilizer, it might cost you up to even 7,000. Because you can queue for 2 days, and then you go back home, then you come again, you queue for 2 days, you go back. So it is actually very costly. And of course, we have our active cooperatives that are within our wards. It is quite possible maybe to have those cooperatives within our wards that are functional, so that even our farmers could take their fertilizers within the wards. Of course, we might also be thinking of having to take those fertilizers at even sub-county levels, so that to reduce the cost and other challenges that we may be having, and to reduce the cost of congestion. So with that, therefore, I would wish to call upon Mheshimiwa from Nganyilel to second the motion. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Natoi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I take this great opportunity to second this motion in whereby we have requested the implementation of how to give our farmers fertilizers. I support it because this is something practical. We have seen in our eyes, and we have seen our farmers suffering. So I take this opportunity to second Honorable James Rem that we have to do implementation under this process. So I like to just to support by saying that it is good that we use our cooperatives so that we'll make this process to move in a smoothly manner. Since we know that, or what we have been seeing since, that our farmers have been facing a lot of challenges. This is something clear, and we have to act on it with immediate effect. So I second Honorable Serem under this motion.
Honorable members, the motion having been sufficiently moved and properly seconded, that the government of Kenya has hatched a fertilizer subsidy program to be implemented jointly under a multi-sectoral framework, bringing together ministries of Interior and National Administration, Agriculture and Livestock Development, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Cooperatives and Enterprise Development, and Trade and Industry. Noting that farmers across the county have been registered through assistant chiefs and chiefs, appreciating that initial disbursements have been done in various parts of the country, concerned that there are few distribution points in the county managed by KNTC, a National Cereals and Produce Board, hence long queues and extra transport costs. Acknowledging that there are many active cooperative societies spread across the county. This county assembly urges the county government of Uasin Gishu to distribute the fertilizer through registered cooperatives that have stores in order to reduce cost and congestion. Ensuing debate. Honorable Songok.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the mover of the motion, Honorable Serem, who is the Chair, Agriculture. Madam Speaker, the prayer of the motion urges the county government of Uasin Gishu to distribute the fertilizer through our cooperative societies that we have already in place. We have registered so many cooperative societies in Uasin Gishu, whereby we found that I find it appropriate that if these cooperative societies can be given an opportunity to assist farmers distribute at the nearest points, so that farmers cannot face some difficulties, especially now when the queuing is on the high. And Madam Speaker, I have experienced, because I'm one of the victims that have already gone through the process of first, after being identified by the Department of Agriculture that you ought to be given this amount of fertilizer. Then a communication can be communicated to you through the phone, and then there's a verification code that is expired within 7 days. And mind you that now the queuing may even go up to 10 days or even 2 weeks, and the verification code can expire. So you find that when the queuing, especially when now the communication may not arise when already you have paid for the fertilizer. And you find that a farmer can go even up to 10 days on off right to the NCPB. And you find that, Madam Speaker, our farmers are facing a lot of challenges. Let's say now, one has ordered about 5 bags. Traveling for 10 days, what is the value now for that fertilizer again? And we are trying to assist our farmers that let them get at the minimum cost these fertilizers. So I find the prayer of the motion being moved by the honorable member that it is good that why can our extension officers who already understand the farmers be given an opportunity so that these farmers can go even up to sub-county level or the nearest any facility that is for the cooperative societies that are registered, so that our farmers can just get at the nearest point. So I find that the county government of Uasin Gishu, let them assist us, assist our farmers. Other than now, this government of the government of the day, that is the Kenya Kwanza, their prayer was the bottom-up economic model. So that farmer, that small-scale farmer, find a lot of difficulties, especially moving every now and then. The cost of transport, lunch, time. So it's good that let us give them an opportunity so that the county government can organize and take these fertilizers to the nearest points. I support the motion, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Kering.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I also rise to support the mover of the motion, that's Honorable Shorem. Madam Speaker, as we are all aware that in this county, or North Rift, as we all know, it is the basket of food in this country. And as Mheshimiwa Songok said, that this Kenya Kwanza government promised farmers at large that they'll be getting subsidized fertilizer. It's now high time that the fertilizers are around, but as we have said, it's a challenge now for them to get the fertilizers. As you know, there are some people who might be they are big-scale farmers and small-scale farmers. It's good then that if I can remember very well, during that long time ago, when Cereal Board had stations in every center in our places, life was good to farmers. And the same, likewise, we need also that these fertilizers be taken back to the cooperatives which are within our wards. Also, when the fertilizers are taken back to our villages, shopping centers, it can also help our kina mama, the uji vendors. They can get something from the people who came there to assist those who are queuing for the line, and I'm sure those queues
Point
will
of
not
order, Honorable Kering. We request that you stick to either of the languages, English or Kiswahili.
Oh, yeah.
Take note.
So the uji, the borage sellers. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The borage sellers and the small, what we call the hawkers, I can say, can also benefit from the things, the fertilizer which have been taken back home to the villages. So, Madam Speaker, time for planting is around the corner. We kindly request the county government of Uasin Gishu to speed up these fertilizers to be taken back to the nearest cooperative societies around our villages, especially like my ward in Geria. I saw it recently. The people who registered to get this subsidized fertilizer are more than 4,000. So tell me now, each ward, if they can come to town, 4,000, how many people will be in this cereal board? So kindly we request the county government of Uasin Gishu to speed up the process and give us the fertilizers at our nearest cooperative societies. Thank you. I support.
Honorable Roda.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to stand in support of Honorable Serem's motion. For sure, I want to thank first Kenya Kwanza government for thinking of giving farmers cheap subsidized fertilizer. However, last year, we bought them at a higher rate. This time, at least, they've thought of farmers, but the way they've done it, they've thought of doing it good, but the arrangement is not really good. All farmers are not equal. At the same time, even our fingers are not the same. Remember, Uasin Gishu we are not talking of farmers who are only doing farming within the town wards. Farmers come from outside or from the outskirts of the town, and most of the farmers travel from a very long distance. We have farmers from those far ends of Ainafkoi. We have others who are coming from the far end of Meibeki Karona. We have others who are coming from those far ends of Soi, Segero Barsombe. So, if the county government can think of those people, because the cost of transport is very expensive. Make you that you can buy a fertilizer at a cheaper rate, but the cost of transporting that fertilizer is really very taxing. It's very high, it's very costful. Make you that if you hire a pickup, thinking that you are going to get that fertilizer today, and you queue in that line for like 3 to 4 days, what will the owner of the pickup or the transporter tell you? He'll tell you, could it that I could be in my place of work, in the lay language word they use ningekuwa nategea, they could have gotten a lot of money. So the calculation they'll give you, you will wonder. So I'm requesting the county government of Uasin Gishu, if they can make arrangement of reaching farmers via near cooperative societies, or even using the ward administrator's office. It will be very easy for the farmers. At first place, I was thinking the mode of distribution is morally the same as that one for the old people, because if you see the way they are given money, the government are using agencies of like equity agents or even KCB agents, and they go for outreach like Ban Forest, like Taribo, like Moise Bridge. If they could have done an arrangement of that kind, I think the mode of distribution could be so easy, at the same time it could be so cheap. So I am appealing to the county government of Uasin Gishu, if they can make an arrangement to reach farmers via the cooperative societies or ward administrators' offices, for they to help the farmers. I think it will be so much prudent and it will be of much help. So I stand to support the motion that was moved by Honorable James Serem, that let the county government help the farmers, because life is very expensive. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Saida.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii ili pia niweze kuunga mkono huu mjadala. Mimi kama naibu mwenyekiti kwa Wizara ya Kilimo, ningependa sana Mheshimiwa Spika kuona kwamba kaunti hii yetu ya Uasin Gishu ikiongozwa na gavana wetu ambaye tunampenda, aweze kusaidia wakulima wetu katika kaunti yetu. Wakulima wetu wako na changamoto mingi, na wakati huu, Mheshimiwa Spika, tunaelewa kwamba maisha ni ngumu. Kupata nauli hata ya kufika town inakuwa ni shida, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kupata pia karo ya kupeleka watoto shuleni imekuwa ni changamoto, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo tunaomba sana kwamba wakulima wetu wasaidiwe. Tunashukuru serikali kuu kwa sababu waliweza kusajili wakulima wetu, lakini ukifika kwenye gala ya cereal boards unaona kwamba, Mheshimiwa Spika, wakulima wana shida nyingi. Utaipata kwamba laini ni ndefu, hata kupata chakula mamkuli ya mchana, pesa ni shida, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na kwa hivyo naomba sana kaunti yetu waweze kusaidia wakulima na kuwapelekea mbolea karibu na zile gala ambazo tuko nazo. Najua wakulima wetu wamesajili kwa hizi shirika kwenye kila wodi. Na hata saa hizi, Mheshimiwa Spika, naona kwamba mbolea iliweza kupelekwa kwenye Mosoriot, zingine zikapelekwa kwenye Moisbridge. Lakini hili hali hata upande huu wa juu Kipkabos hatujawahi kuiona, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo naomba sana kama pia wangejaribu kufikisha hizo mbolea kwenye wodi ya Kaptagat na Inapkoi na iweze kufika pia kwenye Kapsoya. Mheshimiwa Spika, serikali iliyopita iliweza kupeleka mbolea karibu na wakulima. Lakini sasa naomba sana kwa unyenyekevu kwamba wakulima wetu wasaidiwe ili pia gharama ipungue, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hayo mimi naunga mkono sana kwamba wakulima waletewa mbolea kwenye gala zetu ambazo ziko kwenye wodi ili pia tuweze kunufaika. Tunawasingishwa hapa, tunategemea sana ukulima, na tunaomba sana Mwenyezi Mungu atupe mvua. Kwa sababu saa hii tunaona mambo si mazuri, lakini tuko na imani kwamba mvua itafika, na tunaomba sana pia wakulima wao wamejitayarisha. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono huu mjadala. Asante.
Honorable Toroitich, then to you, Honorable Saraidid.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this motion, and it's a motion that should have come all along January or February as the national government were planning, because we are aware that there was recruitment of farmers, there was listing so that they can secure this fertilizer. I also take this opportunity to thank the national government under the leadership of His Excellency the President for the noble idea. It is an idea that so many people thought it will not come to be operationalized. But now it is in with us. It is in Uasin Gishu County. It is within the cereals board. Our wish and what we want to be done is the county government of Uasin Gishu to ensure that these fertilizers are being moved from the cereals board, from these stores to the villages, to the wards level. We know we are talking of cooperatives. We have so many cooperatives. I'm the chair of the committee of cooperatives, and yesterday I received the list of the cooperatives and the circles which we have within the county of Uasin Gishu, and there were over 1,000. Some of them are active, some are inactive. But if you just settle on the active cooperatives, we have not less than 200, and they cut across all the wards within the county. So we have no reason, they have a reason to use the cooperatives to ensure that those fertilizers are distributed to the people in the villages. We have the Department of Cooperatives. They have money that they are using for the administration, for planning, for development, for loans, and all those things. And recently, the governor of Uasin Gishu went round to issue some checks to some of the cooperatives. And if that tells us that we have these cooperatives in place and they are functional, because the county government would not have gone round issuing checks for cooperatives which are not active. So we have cooperatives which are active within us. So it's the Department of Cooperatives to operationalize, to ensure that these fertilizers are taken to the village, to the ward level, not even the sub-county. Because the sub-county, all the sub-counties are heading to Eldoret town. So if we settle on the sub-counties, we'll end up also settling on the stores which are within the town. So my request is the county government of Wasingishu to ensure that they use the cooperatives which are in the villages. What they only need to do is to request those cooperatives to avail the stores, to inform the county government. They can do another can I call it recruitment, or what do I call it? Listing of the cooperatives which are active, which can also be done by the chiefs, and not even the chiefs, the ward administrator, and they need to indicate where the store is. Once we have the store, we have no any other reason for farmers to move all the way from the villages coming to town. Then they only get those papers, their documentation, to those facilities within the wards. And we have so many members of staff of the county government of Wasingishu. It's not a must that they use the members within the same department, because I know the county government is one government, so they can pick other employees to assist in ensuring that they process those documents. If the payment can be done online, it can just be done to the relevant authority. But for verification purpose, they can only take the messages or the checks. What is the copy of the checks to ensure that, to show that they have already paid for the fertilizer. If you are from Moiben, that's where we have so many farmers. And we have the large-scale farmers and the small-scale farmers. The small-scale farmers, they only come in for 2 bags of fertilizer. And you know, for them, purchasing 1 bag of fertilizer, 3,500, they will have saved a lot of money. Getting 2 or 3 bags, because they have 2 acres, 1.5 acres, half an acre. And being a farmer, I know 1 acre, you need 1.5 bags of DAP. Thereafter, we'll process, we need also CAN, which is 1.5 bags. And that's what these small farmers, by the end of the day, purchase and ensure that they cultivate their maize. So I support Mheshimiwa, the chair of Committee of Agriculture, for the noble idea. And it's something as an assembly we need to follow up. We can come up as the 3 also committees, which is the Committee of Cooperative and these other ones, so that we also go to those serial boards to ensure and also to follow up to know that why is it taking that long. If you come with a document, we have seen a bank doing processing so many people by the end of the day. We have gone to NHIF, they are processing so many people by the end of the day. We have been going to hospitals, they are processing so many people by the end of the day. Why is it that when we go to collect fertilizers, even in the cereals, it takes someone 2 weeks to follow up? So it means the system is not working properly, or those staff who are there are not working up to the required standard. So it's something we need to follow up. I support the motion, and also it's something we need to, apart from now coming up and supporting and coming out with this motion, we also need to follow up as members of this house, because by the end of the day, we have so many farmers. I believe farmers cut across, apart from those few who are just within the city center, the MCS who are within city center, they're the ones maybe they don't indulge much more on issues of farming. But they're also beneficiaries, because by the end of the day, if the input of farming is high, it will also impact on the end product to the consumers. So we are all victims of this, and we need to support. I support, and also I believe we are going to support this motion and follow up on the same. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sarah, I did, then Honorable Sawe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support this motion of Honorable Sarem, because as much as the government has reduced the fertilizer, there is still a problem to the transportation. Not every farmer has a large farm. The small scale farmers, they cannot afford. Life is very hard at this moment. Children are being taken to school. Some of them cannot even afford, leave alone transportation, paying for transportation of the farmers. Maybe they're taking 2 sacks or 3. It's very expensive. So let's beg the county government to consider and help these small farmers, to help them achieve their goal, because by reducing it and paying a transportation, it's nothing. It's like not reducing anything. So let's hope the county government will support. Let it go back to the wards, which is nearer to them. They can even use donkeys. They can use even borders. You know, it is cheaper for them. But life is hard. Let's consider that, because by saying we have given them a cheaper price, at the same time the transportation and coming them to town, you know, it's too expensive. Life is not like before. So I support this motion, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Sawe.
Madam Speaker, ningependa pia nichangie mswada huu na niunge mkono wenzangu waheshimiwa, kwa wakulima wengi sana wanatoka mashinani, na kwa sababu wanatoka mashinani, kala ambazo wanaweka mbolea ziko kwenye mji zaidi, na wale wakulima wanapo tembelea kala hizo wanapanga laini, wanapanga foleni kwa muda zaidi. Kwa mfano wiki uliopita kule kala ya Tarbo, kuna wakulima ambao walipanga laini siku ya kwanza, siku ya pili, siku ya tatu, tukaambiwa, wakanipigia simu wakisema kuwa malipo yao wanapotumia M-Pesa inakataa, inabidi tena wakae mpaka kesho, siku inayofuata. Ninaunga mswada huu kuwa mbolea hii wapatia wakulima kutoka kala za cooperative societies ambazo ziko kwenye wadi. Ninaunga mswada huu na kuwa kwa sababu hapa Uasin Gishu ni kikabu ya chakula ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Sisi sote tunahitaji tushirikiane, tuweke mswada huu ili itimike. Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker, ninaunga mkono.
Honorable members, observing that there might be any more contributions to the same, and factoring in the ones that you've made so far to the motion on the floor, to the motion moved by the Honorable Member from Karuna Meibeki Ward, Honorable James Serem, aware that the government of Kenya has hatched a fertilizer subsidy program to be implemented jointly under a multi-sectorial framework, bringing together ministries of Interior and National Administration, Agriculture and Livestock Development, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Cooperatives and Enterprise Development, and Trade and Industry. Noting that farmers across the country have been registered through assistant chiefs and chiefs, appreciating that initial disbursements have been done in various parts of the country. Concerned that there are few distribution points in the county managed by the Kenya National Trading Corporation and National Cereals and Produce Board, hence long queues and extra transport costs. Acknowledging that there are many active cooperative societies spread across the county, this county assembly urges the county government of Uasin Gishu to distribute the fertilizer through registered cooperatives that have stores in order to reduce cost and congestion. Taking in your opinion, honorable members, as of those who are in support of the motion and those who are of contrary opinion, I now pose the question that as many as of those of similar opinion say aye.
Aye.
As many of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, in that regard, this session, there being no other business, the session stands adjourned till 2:30 p.m. today.